Hey traders, TG Watkins here. I wanted to show you how we use the Moxie Indicator with some really great setup entries that are pretty consistent, especially on this last run that we had at the market. I want to show you how we made 100% gain with a leveraged ETF equity on FNGB, and then I'll show you some recent trades that we got into on RKLB and TEM. So stay tuned and we'll show you how this works. Also, we are running a Memorial Day special, 20% off a lot of things in our store. My class is in it too. It's MIMO 25. I'll show you guys what that looks like at the end. All right, so let's dive into this. FNGB. This is the leveraged ETF of the FANG stocks. Now, they have been doing some shenanigans between FNGU, FNGA, and now back to FNGB. So you gotta kind of bear with it. But fortunately, the hourly chart still shows the data that we need in order for me to tell you how we got into this trade. We actually got an FNGA at the time since that was the active ticker. But what you can see here is there was a double bottom. And this is now one of the things that I teach using the Moxie Indicator. It's called a trampoline move. And that is when price is below the 50 SMA and the Moxie Indicator is above 0. It's kind of like trying to push a beach ball underneath water and then you let it go and it shoots back up, because when the Moxie Indicator is above 0, your momentum is positive. That's like buoyancy, right? And so when price dips below the 50, that's like trying to push the beach ball underneath water. It doesn't want to be there. And so you can look at that as a buy the dip opportunity, because you can see, look at this, how it just comes down here. It's like shooting up like that. It's like jumping on a trampoline and shooting right back up. So if you remember, this was all very, very much during the whole Trump tariff pause situation. You remember this was April 9th right there. That was the pause. And then this is when the market really started taking off. So we actually got into FNGA at the time, now FNGB. Back here, we sold half of it here, and then we actually got back into the trade right there as it started to go up, and then we made big gains up into here. And then we actually took a little bit off here, cashed in some profits because it was looking pretty extended. And then once I could tell, I think this is also right when we had Microsoft and Meta earnings and stuff like that. Since they came out positive, since everybody was wondering about what's going to be happening with these earnings, especially tariffs, when they came out very, very strongly, I said, we need to get back in. And so we got back in here, and then you can see this was based on the China news, the China tariff trade deal news, and then the market jumped up like this. And we exited 75% of our overall position from here. And if you look from our original entry right about here, you can see this went up 100%. So, equity, if you just bought and hold, you double your money. And we were trading this thing in and out multiple times, so we made well over 100% on this thing. But the big point to show you is here's the Moxie price trigger. So that's telling you that we could now set up on the long side. This dip was actually buyable. That's the whole point, is to show you that the Moxie Indicator stayed above 0, and it was telling you that it was fairly, not safe, but it was telling you that there was an opportunity to get in, that you shouldn't panic out of this thing, and that's how we got a really great trade on that. Now let's take a look at RKLB and how the Moxie Indicator works on this one. And what you can see primarily, since the daily chart, since the whole market has really taken a big dip to the downside, the daily chart isn't quite set up yet. We're still trying to recover and actually, straighten things out on the daily chart. So most of these setups are actually on the hourly chart. And you can see the same situations. Notice here, yes, we had the Moxie price trigger and there was a little bit of a move up like this, but there was still some resistance. What I want you to see here is look at this crazy trampoline move. So not only was price lower like this, the Moxie Indicator was higher. And the Moxie Indicator and the trading style that I use is all about divergences, like positive divergences. And you can see that is a positive divergence because price was going down, Moxie Indicator was going up. And not only that, price was below the 50, but look at the Moxie Indicator staying above 0. So even if you're trying to figure out where to go in, or let's just say you thought about shorting this is telling you do not short, because this thing doesn't want to go down, because the Moxie Indicator is, like that beach ball underneath water. The Moxie Indicator is trying to tell you that buoyancy is to the upside, all right? And so you just wait for your opportunity, and we started looking at it right here when price got back over the hourly 50 SMA. And then you know what? Hey, look at that dip. Other times you might have been freaked out about this thing, like, oh my gosh, it's coming down. What are we going to do? Well, look at the Moxie indicator. It's still above 0. So yet again, it's another buy the dip opportunity. And one more time, this is almost a trampoline move. Unfortunately, earnings kind of got in the way, so earnings can kind of, throw things off a little bit. But you can see that right after earnings, look at that, a fresh new Moxie price trigger, and that's also where we added to our position on that. Now Rocket Lab is just, off like a rocket. It's doing great. So that was a really good setup that we had. And then our final one, TEM, this is a pretty popular name. This is the Nancy Pelosi stock. And this one, the daily chart, because this stock has, it didn't get as beat up during the tariff tantrums and all that. So this stock, look at this. You have a Moxie price trigger firing right on cue with the daily chart. Price getting over the 50, the Moxie indicator firing right on cue. We had earnings. This looks absolutely fantastic. But check out the daily chart. Once again, check out the hourly chart. Once again, look at the divergences. Price down, Moxie indicator up. Okay, so remember, the Moxie indicator is a momentum-based tool, momentum-based indicator. And so what it's trying to tell you is actually what's happening inside of price. Okay, don't let price, sometimes it'll throw you off. You notice that price went lower, but look what the indicator doing. The indicator is making a higher low. It's actually going higher even though price is going lower. And that's trying to tell you like energy and momentum inside of the ticker, this stock, is actually wanting to go higher. And so we were spring-loaded looking for a long on this. And then look what happens next. Perfect timing of the Moxie indicator crossing over 0, firing what I call that Moxie price trigger, just as price is getting back over the hourly 50, and that sends you up and up away. And then once again, yes, there was some earnings, kind of got in the way a little bit, but once again, a dip below the hourly 50 with the Moxie indicator staying above 0 was another confirmation that price wanted to go higher. So this thing is fantastic. We have been in this. I have been trading this thing since the tariffs. You can see all these marks on here. These are all the trades that I've been putting on with it. And I think this thing's fantastic. Now, I didn't want to chase it. We have one position on. I would like to add to this at some point. But if you actually go back and look at this, where is price right now? It is running into a lot of previous price resistance. Okay, so we don't want to chase it. Let price come up there, let it settle down a little bit. The whole market's a little bit tired right now, but you know what? We are spring loaded, ready to add to this position when we see the next best opportunity. And I really think that this next opportunity is probably going to cause this thing to actually break out from these resistance areas. We just have to find the right spot and be patient while it sets up for that. But you can see here, it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward about how the Moxie indicator works with this. As price goes down, indicator up, there's your Moxie price trigger, and it engages with these moving averages. So if you guys like that, I hope you found it valuable. I just taught a fresh new class on how to use the Moxie indicator. And then for those of you who have seen my trade on the SOXL, where I made 2,000% gain and my account went 1,400%, I've put it was $46,000, turned it into $719,000 in my account in 30 days. This is how we do it. It's with the Moxie indicator. It's with the methods that I teach all the subscribers who are there. And specifically, it's the ETF breakout session and the SPX breakout session. What these are is I'm teaching you the secrets about the leveraged ETFs, okay? A lot of people kept thinking this is crazy, that leverage ETFs, like nobody uses them, it's no big deal, there's slippage, there's decay, all this kind of stuff. I'm here to tell you I have been studying them for years, and there is something here, okay? There really is something here that tells you that there is something going on and that you should be paying attention to it. And I think it should also be noted, there are so many now stocks that have single stock leverage ETFs. If these things weren't good and people weren't benefiting from them, they wouldn't have made them. They are very popular, they do work, and I love them. I absolutely love them. I made 2,000% off of SOXL in 30 days. Now, the other thing here, the SPX breakout session, this is the 0 DTE options trading. And the way that I trade 0 DTE with options is different than most people. Okay, most people won't show you these things and talk to you about this and actually show you a different way of looking at options. Okay, it's very visual, which I like because we all like charts, don't we? You don't have to use the Greeks or anything else like that, no deltas. You don't have to look at the options table, nothing like this, all visual. And so it's the combination that over the last year, teaching myself how to day trade using 0 DT options actually gave me the better understanding about how options work, how they move, and then that's why I was able to apply those call options, those out of the money call options on SOXL. I sat patiently with them, and then we had the market really just take off, and I made 2,000% from those call options. Okay, so I hope you guys find this interesting. Come over to simplertrading.com/courses/Moxie method. We'll have the link in the description for you. And remember, we have the coupon code. It's going to be MEMO25 for the Memorial Day sale, where you get 20% off. Okay, thanks again, guys, and I'll see you later. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.